Yo, what's up guys? The account is a month old, so let's do a month review on this account. How far did we get, and did we get further than your account that you have been playing for quite a while? Let me know in the comments if that case is true. So I'm just going to show all of the accolades, all of the highlights of this account, what it's achieved so far, and we're just going to go from there. So in the end, the name is Save for Scout. I will do a future video where I'll talk about all of the scout battles and how I got to the sub 40 seconds, but I already did a whole bunch of the sub 40 seconds, which pretty much means I can almost already make that video, because Giants is 27 average. That was still on the Teshar, but funny enough, I fed the Teshar, as I mentioned in a previous video, but you do have this thing over here that if you start summoning, I never use this thing as a starter, which I did actually pick up the Teshar and a Brandia from right now. So I do have my Teshar back, so I could rune that up once again. However, that Teshar doesn't have any skill ups or levels just yet, and you kind of need a max leveled Teshar, at least for the skill 3, to kind of make this team work. So we're probably not going to do that anytime soon, and as mentioned, I will probably be scout battling Giants for quite a bit. But at least I have an option to go back to that if I so please. Does also kind of ruin my statement of you don't need a Teshar, but hey, as long as I don't skill it up, it's not used, right? But 27 seconds over here. Dragons haven't focused on that so far yet. It's still a minute and a half, pretty much. Necro, actually, just before this video, I made it 39 seconds on an account that's only 31 days old. I can guarantee you there's a lot of players that have like a 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7 years account that do not have this on sub 40 seconds. And I'll explain that in that future video of like how I got it there, because you need a little bit of fine-tuning on pretty much a standard team, to be honest. This one, I'm not gonna do. I don't care. This thing is just never gonna get a sub 40 seconds because I really don't care about this dungeon, stupid dungeon right there. This one we managed to get sub 40 seconds, and this one we also managed to get sub 40 seconds. So only dragons is left, and then we also still have to do the other R5. So I did already do the main R5 on sub 40 seconds, but the other R5s I haven't farmed at all just yet. So I would have to unlock those fours and then just also get them to sub 40 seconds. Shouldn't be hard because this record we already got in like the 3rd or 4th day on this account. So the other ones shouldn't be hard. One might be a little bit harder because you don't have the Bilger and stuff in there, but that shouldn't be an issue. Then over here, we got all of those, as mentioned already, on a 7 mil plus. So we already have the maximum amount of scout battle on that. So legit, the only thing that we're still missing for max scout battling is the Punisher, or no, wait, the Dragons, which I think I can make like somewhat of a wonkiest team and make it work with that. I prefer to go for like the Centaur, like the Agrius plus the Julie team, but I don't think I will get those anytime soon. I do have a Julie max skill, but I also need a Agrius max skilled, and then I think it's kind of doable. Maybe I need a little bit better runes for an Agrius, but issue is that Agrius final skill up is giving a 20% extra damage, which is just, like, without this, I'm not going to be able to make that. I know that pretty sure. As mentioned, I do have my Julie max skilled already, just did not level it yet, but that is something easily done. So, pretty much just dragons and then just having to rebuild my R5 teams and done with Save for Scout, which also kind of asked the question. Save for Scout is already done by that time. I plan to continue playing this account. What should be my next goal? Should I recover Save for Guardian and start working towards this account to make everything Guardian that I had the initial thought for Save for Guardian originally? That could be a thing. Currently, we have rolled Guild Battle Guardian already. I am in a Guardian 1 Siege. Arena Guardian could be a thing. Rolled Arena Guardian, that will be definitely a far-fetched one. Guardian in Temple of Chaos, that's definitely something that I would like to do. Temple of Chaos without the Daragon, because I don't expect this account to have a Daragon anytime soon. So those are the kind of things that we could be working on. If we're looking at the fastest runs, 25 seconds, 28 seconds over here, and then 25 seconds over here, 26 seconds over there. These are not all the teams that I used for the sub 40 second average, but they're pretty close to a bunch of them. And this is just my leveling team as of so far, so that's kind of that. This was the team I was using over here, but it only shows one of those. And then these were the teams that I was using in that. Then also, let's look at how many net 5s did I already manage to pull. I pulled 1 dupe so far, and my 1 dupe was actually on this dupe. I just went for Devilmons from the dupe, so nothing too crazy. That one was a choice. This one was a pickup, so that's 3, including that dupe over there. This one was 1 picked up, so that's 4, and that's a 5 over there. I think, not sure if I made any of them just non-awakened just yet. Oh, actually, I do have. I got a 6 and a 7 over there with these two, and that is all for water. Let's go into fire. Let's actually check it from the ones over here. So we do have Bilger, but he's free. This thing, which is going to be number 8. Then we have, this one was a choice. This one, number 10, number 11, which actually I got a lot of dollars. I got like all the dollars in game pretty much. If we're going to go towards water, we already did. Fire, we already did. Wind, we did not do just yet. You did already spot the Sonia over there. So over here, we got a, it was number 10, right? So 11 over there, 12, 13, and 14. So we already got, and 15. So we already got 15 net 5s. So that's pretty much averaging a net 5 per 2 days. That is insane. I must say, though, I'm not sure if, no, the cashback for your scroll event is already gone. But at that time that event was still there, I already did like 15 or 1600 scrolls. I definitely 100% do agree that this account is a lucky account, and I've claimed it many times before. There's lucky accounts, there's unlucky accounts, and that doesn't really like flip back and forth or anything like that. It's just like your account's either lucky or it's not lucky. And it stays that way for, in my opinion, for a very long time, and then maybe it kind of shifts out. But in general sense, I feel like some accounts are just in general more lucky. If we're looking at LD4s, this is an LD4 that I picked up. That is an LD4 that I picked up. This is an LD5 that I picked up. As mentioned, lucky account right there. I do also expect this account to pull another LD5 before my main pulls an LD5, even though it gets way less scrolls. I just expect that. This is an LD4 that I randomly picked up. Then over here, we have like HOH, HOH, HOH. Randomly picked up, very strong. Randomly picked up, pretty garbage. And that is it for the LD4s and LD5s that we have over there. Let's talk about quad rolls. We do already know the quad rolls that you have seen before, which was this one, 26 on the quad. You have probably already seen, if you follow the series, 27 on the quad. And today, since it is the last day of the blessing that we have, which is this blessing over here, which is 17 hours left, I did waste a whole bunch of mana. If you're tracking my mana throughout videos, I had like 170 mil. But since it is half the price to up all of your runes, I just went and upgraded a whole bunch of runes to plus 15, because it's just simply cheaper to do it right now. And that is the one over here. So is that the right choice? I don't know, but I just upped like an ungodly amount of runes to plus 15. Plus, I upped all of my runes that I currently have. But there's one thing, upping all your runes on a lucky account resulted in this. Another 27 rune. Too bad it's on the same slot. Too bad it's also pretty horrible for subsets. These are like lowest roll, close to a lowest roll as well. Like even the HP is a lowest roll. So yes, it is a quad. Yes, it is that, but it's like 174 rune score for a quad. That is like legit the lowest value quad I've ever seen in my life. At least the other two are like close to 200s, but there's like, if you get a quad, mostly you're happy like 200-ish plus or something like that. But yeah, we did get a quad. We also did get a whole bunch of like random quads out there, like this kind of stuff, like a 37 on HP 4. I think we got that on a few more slots where it was just a decent close to a quad. Or yeah, over here we also got like a 36 on attack. So we did have a fair bit of quads. Nothing too crazy as of yet for like absolute insane runes, I would say. Like sure, the speed quads are nice, but let's look at the highest rune score. So this one is one of the high rune scores. I did not really max out a rune just yet or anything. This is definitely one that if I have legendaries, you would throw legendaries at that. So that deserves a little bit more of a rune score right there. Too bad that this HP is over there, not in there or something that you can grind it. But sure, it's a something. This one is also one of those that I would say is really good. I'm not sure. It does look like a quad right there. I'm not sure if it actually is a quad, but kind of does look like a quad right here, but I'm not sure if it exactly is or not. But nevertheless, this is a very good rune. This is a kind of rune that I would use on the main as well. That's definitely a very good rune right there. Over here, what do we have? High crit rates. Not too bad of a rune either. Nothing too crazy. Good one over there on this one, actually. This one, yep, that's this rune. Does still have the chance to actually put HP somewhere if I would like to, but I'd probably put HP over the defense on this one. Yeah, just typical all of those runes that you got all kinds of slots on. This one is pretty nice as well. This one is also absolutely a target where you do want to do this. Give me a 10. That's nice. And then we want to drop another one over there. Aether, very nice. Yeah, that's where 232 rune efficiency on, or like a rune score on a rune. That's the kind of runes you like to look at. And then this slot is still really horrible. So that's also one of those things that you see on new accounts, like, our account already has like better runes than you. Not necessarily. I have like 1 or 2 good runes that are high on speed, and I can make 1 speedy set. And like my first set is, for example, a 211 or 212 right now, and then my second set is like 180. So it's like it gets an immediately like crazy drop from how much rune quality you have out of that. Also, these are pretty much all of the units that I made thus far on 6-star, so you can just pause it at any moment to kind of look at it. I have done... Oh, wait, I forgot about this one. I did get this one as well, so that's the Dark Tanjiro. Not too sure where I exactly would like to use this, but I could see some usage for him. He's definitely not too bad. There's some things that the irresistible buff actually make it, or debuff makes kind of nice. I have also been working on a few awakenings for pre-things. I still have to do the second awakening for this before the 17 hours end. And we have done that for a whole bunch of them. That pretty much means like I don't have the skill ups just yet to actually max skill them, but those are units that I would like to feed in. These go into my Vigor, and then we have Kali's probably go into another Kali, and the Spectra go into another Spectra, but it just happened to be like the highest to work with. So that's what we have over there for all of those things. If we're looking at Dex is actually kind of a nice thing to look at for what are we working with on the account thus far. This was the arena offense that we used last time around. I'm still trying to work on that we can actually make you on violent and you on violent for the next arena rush, because it was noticeable that if the enemy procs 6 times and you can't proc at all, that you're in a bad spot. And this would be preferably some kind of nemesis state or something like that. And then we should also kind of do this team towards like more violent as well, I would say. Maybe even make a version with this where we put Lamilla in here and then no Vermos would be kind of strong too. For Siege offense, we also got a whole bunch of hits. It's doing okay. Definitely still have to work on a whole bunch of units. I think I will start to work on more siege units, because the better I do in siege, the more crystals I get, the more crystals I get, the more I can farm. Always that kind of good stuff. This was the good old dungeon for... oh, wait, we also have this one. World Guild Battle. Actually, funny enough, this is one of the better teams that I'm using in World Guild Battle, and I'm actually very tempted, because now I currently have the Sieg, or no, not the Sieg, the Shumar in this team, which is okay-ish, but it is actually not as impressive as this team. Because what does this team do? You go for an S2, you get your speed buff, then you team up, but during the team up, you can death break, but you also have a proper speed on this. You team up, you have another Shumar hit, and then you team up again, and you have another Shumar hit. So Shumar's moving 3 times in the first hit, and most of the time it is on the first hit, you don't kill. Then this team up, you will definitely kill. And on this team up, if there's something squishy, you kill the 3rd unit as well. Or the 2nd unit as well. So you kill 2 units with this. And you have a proper amount of speed to work with this. So I might actually rune this up for normal siege offense as well, because I'm actually kind of liking that hit right there. The other hits, I haven't really put too much effort into World Guild Battle just yet. But it just kind of hit something relatively easy, and I'll make my way work from that. Some people have been asking, are you doing Labyrinth stages? Well, actually, I've been doing Labyrinth stages on... not the highest grade, but one below the highest grade. So you don't really have a proper team for everything just yet. The one I can do on the highest grade is this one, which is the time attack, which is also relatively the easiest one out there. But if we're looking at the bosses, well, this used to be like Teshars and stuff. I just kind of do them on a semi-lower grade because that's just easier. Monster Subjugation, however, I did used to do it with Teshar as well, which was for water quite needed. I would say that these can clear up until like wave 19, but I haven't seen them clear the boss just yet. If I want to get towards the boss clearing, I would have to start building some of those units which you have over here. This one, but preferably actually the fire and the water version of these, because those 2 units always use their skill 1, AoE, and then you put a rogue next to that, and I do have a video on that, and that clears it super easy. I'm not sure to what extent the Shoko Knights actually do need their skill ups or not, because that might be... It's written like this, right? Yeah, pretty much. Oh, it's with a C. That's why. Okay, sure, whatever. There is a lot of damage upcoming in here. That is true, but the amount of like the other things don't really matter. But damage up is more for like clearing the waves fast rather than anything. So I think I could go for a non-skilled up version on those. Issue is I don't have the water nor the fire one yet. So that's also one of those things. If you're playing a new account, do keep in mind that within this summon thing, you do have this summon at 4 list on. At some point, you probably want to start checking which units you already did put in there, because maybe you already summoned the unit and you don't really need scallops for them. So I definitely did change this part as well to get all of the units in there that have a potential 5-star in their family. So for that reason, you definitely want to be putting in like the Tatsuya. You want to be putting in pretty much all collab units, because most collab units have like a net 5 in their family. So I tried to get a lot of those in, and then also just seeing like, okay, what kind of scallops do I need? For example, for Julie, I added in every family of the Julie in there just to get more Julies. I did the same thing for the Centaur Knight over there, Centaur Knight over there, Centaur Knight over there, just to get more scallops of the right thing. So that's just small recommendation, but definitely do check this out to see it's like, hey, I'm missing this or that unit. Other units I don't care that much about. If you want to copy what I do, just pause the video at any given moment of these. This is what I've been working with. You could copy that. You could also just do something else based on what you did already pull or not. And then for the boss, if we are fighting the wind boss, this team actually does kill it already, which I'm kind of impressed about. But the Hua just does an ungodly amount of damage. Like the Hua and the Astar just do so much damage to that boss that this team already clears it with like shit for runes. Like there's double fight set over here, and it's kind of optimized with like the exact crit rate, except for you. But this team already does like 4 million or something in the subjugation boss. That just gives me the max amount of rewards right there. As mentioned, all of the dungeon teams I'll talk about in a future video the moment I have all of my scout battles to sub 40 seconds. But I do expect that video pretty soon. TOA, actually this first team, I used this team today. Today we had a TOA reset. This cleared it all the way from normal 1 to 100 on TOA hard with only failing once. And it cleared everything. So I'm just gonna keep using this. And sure, I could make a way faster team with like Rogues, Stars, Team Ups, and Abigails or whatnot, or like Tashar back in there or something. Sure, but it's just every time I have to just click through like the next wave of 10 every time. And like if this team works, why not? Temple of Chaos, I have done it just to get the minimum reward of 1 mil, but I did not really save the team. It was also a horrible team right there. And then R5, I also have to redo all of those dungeons pretty much. So I haven't done these at all just yet, but have to redo them. And any of these dungeons in Dimensional Rift, I haven't done just yet because I'm just making duplicates of 2As. I'm kind of on this point. I was checking earlier which more 2As would I like and to get more duplicates of, but I'm kind of done with 2As for the ones that I do really like. And for that reason, I probably will start farming one of the dimensions itself. And that's actually faster than I expected, because I expected to do like dimensional hole farming for probably like half a year before I get to that point. I'll probably become like an Elunia main on this account. And the main reason is, sure, I could go like swift speed chasing and that kind of stuff. But I think the overall value of Elunia is just too high. There's the Nemesis in there, there's the Will in there, there's the Despair in there. It has the most amount of things that would actually help towards anything. So I think Elunia for an early game account is probably the best. Sure, some people might say it's like, just go in Infrared and get like Violent and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Sure, the Violent in here is nice, but I don't really need more Fatal. All of these sets, I don't really need that much at all. So I think that Infrared is kind of a bait to go into, but I'm still not 100% sure about what I will do for this one. Also, Infrared for an early game account is maybe a little bit harder to farm than it is for Elunia, because Elunia, I can think of a whole bunch of teams that are easy on just like full on wind. This thing, however, I think it's doable if you just give multiple will sets to one of the units. I'm actually kind of tempted to farm this one because I do like myself some enhanced runes for arena defense. Fatal in the end is kind of usable-ish. Violent is just great. Determination is absolutely useless. And Seal is also kind of usable-ish. So it's just Determination that actually feels really useless in this. Whereas over here with Elunia, Endurance full useless, Accuracy is full useless. So I'm not 100% sure, sold on it just yet, thinking about it right now. I'm definitely not gonna go for Cauldron because over here, this is pretty much just Swift and all of the others. Like, sure, you can use some Destroy, some Shield, but really not my cup of tea. Plus, I expect to do a lot of Scout battling in Giants at some point. Or I could use my Amira's Luck in Giants because I have my Tasha back. That's also an option. Lumen would be a little bit too precise on Will Runes and Vampire Runes, and I don't really have units yet that utilize Vampire Runes. And Karazhan is only if you go for like full nuking kind of style. But to be honest, I don't really have the units for that. And if I were to go for these kind of units, I would have picked the Zyros, for example, in the first place, right? Then also looking at RTA. How far are we at RTA? Well, we are P1, so we're done with RTA pretty much altogether until the next season. Next season is going to be more of a speedrun of how fast can we get towards P1 again. And I think next season is a season that I would go into how far can I get this one? Can I get this account to P2? Within, at that time, pretty much a 3-month-old account. That is kind of the idea behind it. But pushing higher than this right now, I don't think is a interesting play because I'm pretty sure that the moment we start playing right now, we actually have to play it against a whole bunch of Warlords, and we probably will lose those matches. But for next season, P2, maybe even P3, we will be looking how far we can get. With the units I currently have, especially with the Lamilia added to that as well, with an Aya, all of those kind of units, if I get a Heigang would do very good for this account. Like Heigang, Tomoe, those would be the two best for my RTA pickups that I could do right now. And of course, Layla, if they remove Layla from this supporting. So that's pretty much a review of all of the progression on this account. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Did this get further than you expected? Did this get less progression than you expected? Is this more than your own account is getting in a long time? Well, it's definitely at the early start of the game you're making a lot more progression because you also get a lot of free-to-play crystals. Currently, I'm getting a lot less free-to-play crystals, so it's more of just scout battling, just getting the first runes in here and there. But I'm pretty happy with how fast we're already clearing a lot of the dungeons that we can actually scout battle everything that we would like to scout battle. Plus, with the decks right now, it also makes a very easy video for me to just showcase all of those builds. But that, as mentioned, will be a future video where I showcase all of the easiest to rune, low rune quality, shit garbage teams, but still sub 40 seconds, and that's exactly what we need for Scout Battle. Well, guys, thanks a lot for watching. If you don't want to miss out on that video, subscribe to the channel and like this video, and see you as always in the next one.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.